Hey Jordan, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. We have a bunch of the marketers joining today, and then we have the brands that I mentioned. I was just telling them I'm in California right now, because
Oh,
I came.
nice.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a long time coming. I left San Francisco a couple years ago, so I've been aching to come back, and my brother's proposal was the perfect reason to do that. So came back, he did the whole proposal thing. It was
Mm.
beautiful. It was amazing, all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm working remotely from a random hotel lobby at the moment.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Where in LA are you?
No, actually, I'm in San Francisco, up north.
Oh, San Francisco. Got it, got it, got it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought,
If I
yeah.
was, if this was in LA, I would probably hit up like a whole bunch of the partners of like, hey, while I'm here, why don't we hang out? Why don't we talk? But I think there's only like one or two that are in San Francisco, so and they're
Got
pretty
it.
on the early train. So I don't know if that's appropriate at this point for me to just show up at their office. Hey guys.
Oh, good. Well, enjoy San Francisco and congrats to your brother.
Thank you. I'll pass your well wishes. Just a heads up to everybody, and I'll say this again right before we get started, but it's auto recording automatically. We're not going to post this up anywhere. It's going to be for like internal purposes and to send to Phoenix so they can have follow up. So
Great.
I know it's like a legal thing. If I don't say it, people have called me out on that before, even though it's like blinking in the top left there.
No worries. All good by me.
Do you have a deck or anything? Do you want to load up, I guess, the first slide just so
I
we can make sure that it's, or you don't have one,
I
that's fine. If you don't need one necessarily.
I do have a deck. I
Oh,
can
perfect.
pull that up. Yes.
Cool.
Oh, you need, I guess the host has to
Oh, see, I knew there was going to be
enable screen
something.
sharing. Yeah.
Okay, so it should be good now.
Okay. Mhm.
All right.
Okay. All right. Can everyone see this?
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll give it to like, let's say like 9:07, just let like the late stragglers come in, and then we can get started.
Sure.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
Maybe we'll go 9:08. We're feeling really generous. By the way, the thing I missed most about California, above all this amazing weather and people and all that, is Phil's coffee for sure. I don't know if any of the East Coasters, that's blurring out that way. There we go. I don't know if any of the East Coasters have ever had this, but it is hands down the best coffee I've ever had.
Yeah, Phil's is pretty good. It's all
As far
pour
as like
over.
chains go, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's been a while. I mean, I'm at home working from home, so I'm making my coffee now. But before that, I
That's
was
good. So you've like reacclimated your palate to normal coffee. So this will again taste amazing.
right, exactly.
I
Yeah, good point.
used to think Starbucks coffee was good, and then I realized I really am not a big fan of it.
Well, yeah, enjoy your fills while you're in town.
Caffeine addiction on high. I'm gonna go on mute so you guys don't have to listen to this terrible jazz. Okay, everyone. I think we're coming up on when we should start. So first and foremost, I want to thank Olivia and the Phoenix team for participating in this and kind of walking us through the specifics of what their offering is and kind of talking through any sort of questions we have. She's going to go through the presentation first, so let's try to save any of the Q&A for after, or you can also add the questions into the chat. And if it makes sense, we can kind of work them in as she's speaking. I'm going to actually put in the chat the form link for anybody who hasn't filled it out yet. It's very basic. It's just like name, email, and address. Phoenix has been kind enough to offer a special gift that they'll actually be mailing directly to your home. So please make sure that you fill that in with your complete information. And I guess without further ado, I'll turn it over to, oh, one more thing, sorry. Just a reminder, this is being recorded. We're not going to use it for anything publicly. It's for internal purposes, but just wanted to make sure everybody was informed. And without further ado, I'll now pass it over to Olivia.
Thanks, Jordan. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Olivia. Thanks for carving out some time to learn a little bit more about Phoenix Commerce and tuning into this sort of co-led snow agency kind of 101 overview. And so I'm just going to go through some slides. Hopefully, the goal of this is for you to be informed and have some more knowledge about how Phoenix could be a potential fit to really help grow your business. And it's a unique opportunity to try us out kind of in a way that's, I think you'll find enticing, and I'll explain more of that towards the end when we take questions and whatnot. So thanks, Jordan, for getting us kicked off. Jordan, can you hear me okay and see the screen okay before I get started?
Coming in loud and clear.
Okay, great. So Phoenix Commerce, we're essentially in the business of helping businesses really enhance and improve their customer experience. And in doing this, there's a whole domino effect of benefits here. But firstly, by illuminating estimated delivery dates early in the shopping funnel, this is helping retailers increase their online conversion. And again, a domino effect starts to begin. So I want to walk through each of those components to give you that understanding of why it's important and kind of walk you through a use case of how we helped Grail in this instance do that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about these guys. So Grail is a client using Phoenix today, and they are this really great brand on a mission to make portable water purification possible. And so they've built this water bottle that you can essentially clip to your waist or your backpack. And it's built for kind of the most intrepid, adventurous seeking person so that they can drink safely from murky rivers, wells, the dirtiest of spigots, even hotel sinks, right? So they're on this mission to provide clean water to their customers and to do this easily, right? By building this unique one press protection bottle. And their brand manager at the time, Scott, I was in conversation with him about a year ago, came to us and he essentially said, Olivia, our conversions are not looking great. Our online conversions are not looking great. Our cart abandonment seems to be increasing. And my shipping revenue, I don't know what's going on, but the shipping costs are over the roof and we're in trouble. And can you help, essentially? And I told Scott, I'm not surprised to hear any of this. You're not alone. This is not a unique problem. And these are areas that Phoenix can help you. And I mentioned that these problems are not unique. And here's essentially a look at why, right? So Scott came to us with lost conversions, cart abandonment, and terrible shipping conversions as well. So this slide here really illuminates the share of revenue in 2020 of US retail e-commerce shares. And so it's no surprise that Amazon has the largest slice of this pie. Amazon is the select choice for online shoppers because the expectation is made really clear early in the experience. We know that if we make an order Thursday, the likelihood of getting that item by Saturday is really high, sometimes even Friday, right? I was just reading in The Atlantic this morning that there are more Amazon Prime accounts in the US than there are households, right? So it's no surprise that Amazon is the industry titan, and year over year, Amazon will continue to increase their share of the pie because they're meeting the customer needs, and really creating that experience that keeps folks coming back. That includes delivery dates really early in the shopping funnel. Prior to adding an item to your cart, you are being communicated right away when it will arrive. And of course, those personalized delivery options on the checkout and that post-purchase notification, right? So we've got Amazon leading the way. And then I told Scott, other industry leaders are picking up on this. They have their antennas out. So we've got Walmart, eBay, Apple, even Best Buy and Target have started to adopt this Amazon Prime-like experience model, because they know it's what brings customers back. They know that in order to stay competitive and stay relevant, they need to provide this to their shoppers. And so that leaves everybody else, including Grail at the time and other retailers who are not able to provide this experience. And so I told Scott, there's really two options here. One is continue to, do nothing and continue to see your slice of pie decrease and, lose those conversions and not address the problem. Or Phoenix can step in and pull this experience that we know is a winning solution, that Amazon provides and other industry leaders, and recreate this exclusively on your site, on the Grail website, and see what happens. And so Scott said, let's do it. Let's go live. I want to see what we can do. And so that's exactly what we did. Grail launched Phoenix Commerce estimated delivery dates right on the product detail page. And so in this case, a shopper comes to the Grail page, they're looking at this GeoPress purifier. And like any other product detail page, they have a whole host of information available to them about the product. But now, prior to adding that item to their cart, prior to logging in or committing, right? They are simply browsing, simply looking. Phoenix Commerce is able to provide a estimated delivery date right above that add to cart button. And in doing so, sets that expectation up really clearly as to when they can expect to receive this item. And there are a whole host of other options available to them as well. So we see that with a free shipping option, someone can get it by Tuesday at this location, this zip code here, 90016. The great thing about this is that this zip code can be changed if this is a gift for a friend or someone's going to be elsewhere, to really set up that expectation, right? So if this is expected to arrive by Tuesday with free shipping, and I'm leaving for, say, Yosemite on Tuesday morning, that's not going to cut it. I'm going to check for other options, right? But I'm in luck. I can actually get this sooner than that, right? Which is going to motivate folks to continue to the checkout. So Grail took EDDs on the PDP and sort of carried that through the user experience. So when the shopper gets to the checkout, they have that option for free shipping. They can also cough up $15 for 2-day shipping, which gets it there a couple days sooner, or next day, right? And so simply by taking delivery dates and communicating those to the Grail customers early in the funnel and getting really concrete and granular, Grail saw a pretty incredible lift in their conversions within the first 3 months, specifically an 11% increase after 90 days of going live on the IDP. And so this is really telling of where the customer need is right now, right? That customers are looking for estimated delivery dates early. That's really all they care about. And so Phoenix was able to provide this to those Grail shoppers. And in doing so, that domino effect of solutions were solved, right? So the conversions increased, thus cart abandonment decreased as well. But there was that third point that Scott had talked about, and that was the shipping revenue. So I want to get into that a little bit more. So we talked about that pre-purchase experience with regard to the customer and how they navigate and move through that shopping experience. But then what's going on the back end, right? So Phoenix is able to take a look at every single order and ask, what is the best carrier in this instance to get this item where it needs to go for the most cost-effective service? And so in taking each order and really applying Phoenix and getting specific in each use case, this is where that reduction in shipping costs kicks in. For example, if Grail has a fulfillment center in Los Angeles, and the shopper is located in Los Angeles as well, zone 1, and they've opted for a 2-day shipping service because they want to get this thing sooner than later. For zones 1 through 3, ground service will typically arrive in 2 transit days. So on the back end, Phoenix can recognize that there's really no need to opt for that 2-day service. They're going to select ground on the back end, but the shopper doesn't need to know that. Thus, retailers pay that ground service, and then you're able to upcharge the customer for that 2-day shipping service, which is where that increase in revenue using that real-time carrier rate starts to kick in by actively selecting the best carrier for each order. This doesn't have to be a manual labor anymore, which really eases up the kind of operations side of things. And then this next part is really intelligently routing those orders. So, this is especially helpful for retailers who work with multiple 3PLs or ship from multiple locations to really allocate those inventory rules based on unique to each retailer. So in some cases, some of our clients want to ship lowest cost first and foremost, always, even if that adds an extra day. Others want to pull highest inventory to maintain an even distribution of their products. Others, for example, prefer to not ship split shipments. So even if it means it'll take an extra day, if item A is not located in the warehouse that item B is shipping from, we're happy to wait 24 hours until it's there instead of pulling from a second warehouse. So that's where that customization really comes in, to intelligently route these orders based on inventory available and really how each merchant is operating and running the business. And then the other kind of flip side of that increase in revenue with shipping is on that customer facing side, right? So if a customer's on the checkout, what we know is that by simply slapping on a delivery date on a shipping method, folks are typically likely to select that. So in this use case, we've got free shipping with no date. The delivery date's a mystery. And some shoppers, if they're not in a pinch, they're not in a rush, they're willing to take that gamble, they'll opt for free shipping, and that's fine. But what most of our retailers find is that, again, by putting that delivery date and charging just a couple bucks, whether it's, in this case, it's $4.99, $3, $4, $5, most shoppers will cough up that money. But the kicker is, on the back end, free shipping and priority shipping are the same. So for the shopper who selects free shipping, they're going to get it on this same date as priority. But we know that that shipping revenue can start to increase by simply communicating a date, especially when you compare that to, an option that's double, and then you get into $20, $24, right? So just by placing this strategically in this order and then illuminating a free ship date, it's incredible how many shoppers opt to cough up a couple bucks. And that's this whole combination of lowering the shipping costs, increasing revenue, really helps to generate growth and ROI in ways that a lot of retailers aren't sometimes thinking about or aren't nurturing at that time. And you're probably wondering, okay, well, how does Phoenix Commerce do this? How can you make such a promise about when this item will arrive? So Phoenix is a pretty powerful AI ML based engine, and this algorithm continues to evolve and improve and takes into a whole host of parameters. We like to call them buckets. So we've got product, shopper, inventory, operations, and carrier. So we talked about the shopper being geolocated, right? That's first and foremost. Where does the shopper exist in the world is going to play a huge factor in how fast that can get there. But it's so much more than that. We look at, again, these buckets. with regard to the product itself, of course, inventory, we talked about that with shipping. The operations, of course, is a huge factor. So your pick, pack, and ship times, what are the cutoff dates for that day? Any temporary constraints, right? With weather, holiday, influx, etc. And then those carriers that each merchant is working with, what negotiated rates you have, and the performance with regard to carriers in general. So this is a platform that takes into consideration all of these factors to generate these delivery dates with a near 100% accuracy. So we talked about that pre-purchase experience and shipping and operations on the back end. Now let's move through to post-purchase, right? So pre-purchase, the shopper is not committed. And now post-purchase, shopper has converted to a customer. Congratulations. But we know that in this case, that customer experience is even more important than prior, because a bad post-purchase experience can really deter customers from coming back. If delivery date expectations are confusing or late, customers get frustrated because people commit to orders because they typically need them by a certain date. And I think we can all relate to this meme. Oh, it's very exciting to track your package. I know I do this when I online shop. And so Phoenix has created this post-purchase branded order tracking page that functions really similarly to, say, a FedEx tracking page or a UPS tracking page, in that this is where the shopper can, or the customer now, can track every stage of the order. But unlike a FedEx page or UPS page that's just branded with that orange and purple, copy that just serves a practical purpose, Phoenix takes this up a notch, and the customer is able to not only track the status of their order, but on this page, our clients are able to brand this with the content that they see fit. It's 100% customizable. So in this case, Three Bird Nest has, a little video that kicks in displaying, the fall line that's about to premiere, a coupon for next time, right? For them to entice them to return, and then everything linked back to the website. And this is your choice, however you see fit to brand this page, we can do. And what this does is this really helps drive that incremental revenue with repeat purchases, because we want those shoppers who've converted to customers to re-enroll in that loyalty loop. Once they've made a purchase, let's get them back. Let's get them, really immersed in the brand and excited to shop directly on the site. And the other thing that this does is really reduces that order status inquiry. Where's my order? How do I track it? I'm confused. None of those questions come through anymore, because as soon as the shopper places the order, this branded tracking page gets emailed to them, and then the shopper is able to open this up on their browser and check this multiple times a day and engage in the brand. So really improving that end-to-end customer experience, as well as increasing that incremental revenue with repeat purchasing and decreasing those order status inquiries as well. The other thing I want to touch on lastly before we kind of take questions is Phoenix recently launched estimated delivery dates in product-related communications via email. So just like the product detail page that we saw with Grail, right? Communicating that delivery date on the website before they've added to cart. We're able to take delivery dates and communicate them in marketing emails, right? So in this case, order in the next 4 hours, 21 minutes, get it by Monday. This can be sent in the form of a cart abandonment email. So if someone happens to add an item and walk away, if there's an item that's low in stock, please notify me when this item is available, or any general product marketing email to entice folks to move to the website and order. So these EDDs are not only able to go live on the product detail page, but also in email via your marketing campaigns. So just to kind of overview what we had just talked about, Phoenix really, again, is taking that customer experience and transforming brands by communicating delivery dates really early, and thus that domino effect that I had mentioned that we saw with Scott and Grail too. So an increase in conversions. By doing that, we're also lowering cart abandonment. We talked about that shipping component, that area that a lot of retailers, are not nurturing, are not investing in time in. There's a whole world of revenue to be made there. And then that reduction of order status inquiries as well. And we work with food and beverage, fashion apparel. We work with a whole host of clients. And the Snow Agency as well has been a great partner of ours. And I hope this sort of has given a better understanding to those tuning in about who we're serving, what we're doing, and how we're helping brands really grow and thrive and ensure that their customers are satisfied through the entire online shopping experience. And so with that, I'm not sure how we're doing on time here, but I'm happy to take questions. Jordan, if you want to moderate that, or I'm not sure what you were thinking is a next step here, but happy to address any feedback or questions that those tuning in may have for me.
For sure. So I'd say anybody who has a question, if there's no hand raise feature on here, that's on the other one. So we can start off with messaging in the chat, and then I'll let you know to kind of unmute. I have a question to start, so you guys can figure that out while I ask. So I really like the idea of tying the abandoned cart flows via email to kind of bring them back. So in that case, is that something that Phoenix directly offers, or is that integration with like an email provider that would kind of trigger that flow? Is that something that like directly Phoenix can say after an abandoned cart that meets these criteria, send this type of message, or is it connecting with Klaviyo or whoever else you're using from an email perspective?
Yeah, so Phoenix provides the code. Klaviyo, I know we're working like in that case with WonderKex. I believe that is a Klaviyo generated email. So it's as simple as we provide the code based on kind of in a similar fashion on the product detail page that simply gets pasted in however you're generating those marketing emails, whether it's Klaviyo or any other service. So that's not a problem.
That makes sense. That's really cool. I like that one. Anybody in? No problem at all. So we have a question in the chat that says, any implications or data on site speed or performance?
That's a great question because we know, if a site slows down, people will leave. So thanks, Joshua, for that question. No, we work with SMB retailers and enterprise retailers. And so there is, we work with Men's Warehouse, BarkBox, and there's no lag or delay on the site speed performance. This has no impact on the way that the site performs.
All right. Client is interested in Phoenix. However, they asked, does it conflict with DHL e-commerce?
Does it conflict with DHL e-commerce? So DHL as an e-commerce platform, we're pretty platform agnostic. So we work with a lot of Shopify merchants, but we integrate with all e-commerce platforms. So there's no conflict with whatever platform they've chosen to sell on.
Paul, if that answers your question, we're good. If not, you can unmute and just elaborate if you have any curiosity beyond that. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I should have mentioned that. So again, we do work with a lot of Shopify merchants. So Shopify is all good and great, but whether it's BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Magento, a custom platform, Salesforce Commerce Cloud, any and every e-commerce platform Phoenix can work with. So that shouldn't be a problem.
All right, any other questions out there? Grail had an 11% conversion lift. Is that an example going from 1% to 12% on overall conversion rate on the production page? So I think they're wondering kind of, even though the flat number is 11, like what was the start and end? Was this a 50 to 60? Was this a 10 to 20? Like what was the range of conversion lift?
For Grail specifically, I know that essentially they doubled their conversion. I know we start with, so some of our clients see anywhere as high as like a 14% conversion lift, but even, 3%, that, because I know on average people are looking at even a 2% lift can, depending on what your average monthly order volume, can really, significantly increase that ROI. So, but for Grail, I know that what I do know is that they doubled that lift. I hope that provides some clarity, but the 11% was double. Yeah, thanks, Joshua.
Pricing.
That's a great question too. Joshua's coming through with all the good ones.
Right.
So this is the tier pricing is essentially determined based on average monthly orders, right? So, and this is all live it's live on the Shopify app, but again, we work with all e-commerce platforms. I can send this link to Jordan to provide, but in terms of where we begin for pre-purchase features, it's $329 a month for the first 1,000 orders, and then we sort of build off of that. The more you use it, the less it is per order, if you will. But that first sort of introduction tier is $329 for 1,000 orders a month. Post-purchase, you're looking at, so $329 for the first 1,000 orders, and then 21 cents for each additional pre-purchase order above that 1,000 threshold. Post-purchase pricing is about 7 cents an order, and that includes that post-purchase branded order tracking page. And what I can do right now, actually, is I'll just throw this in the chat just so you guys have it. And again, this is on the Shopify app store, but no worries if you've got a retailer working on any other platform. But this is just good to have. And I know I'm just shouting numbers, which is maybe not helpful. So I'll send this in the chat so you guys have it. Sometimes I know I'm visual, so if I look at something, it's going to stick much better.
So along the same lines, in terms of, I guess, Phoenix's capability to deal with worldwide shipping. So is like when it comes to, I guess, the analysis of tracking, timing, pricing, all of that, does that apply ex-US as well?
Yeah, so we actually just launched a retailer in Canada, so that's been exciting. And we do work with Canada Post, and they did go live pretty recently. And we are onboarding international clients as well. So there is that option to provide the service for folks who not only ship in the contingent US, but of course internationally as well. And that pricing should have gone through in the chat for folks if you want to take a look. Thanks for these questions. Anything else that folks are curious about or that I can provide clarity on?
Josh wants to know if there's any law.
Function.
Go for it. Sorry.
So no, that's okay.
Anything restricted? Like, do you need to have like a higher tier plan to have full functionality, or is it just available the whole way through, and then pricing impacts differently, I guess?
Yeah. So when you say free tier, I'm assuming you mean that first threshold, right? The 329, but no, there's no free to install. Correct. Yeah. So the app is free to install. No, there is no loss in functionality. And again, as the idea here is that Phoenix pays for itself, right? So in installing and going live on the product detail page, the service is meant to, you will really see our clients have seen, and I will send Jordan some case studies to share as well. By increasing the conversions, that starts that whole domino effect. And there's no loss in that functionality. And it is free to install. That's correct.
All right, guys, we probably have time for one, maybe two more questions. So if there's anybody that has burning curiosities, now would be the time.
The other thing I wanted to hit on, Jordan, was, so again, for those merchants who tuned in, please provide Jordan with your address, because we do have something we'd like to send as a thank you. But the other really exciting part about you folks who tuned in today is that this presents an opportunity to really try Phoenix risk-free. And what I mean is that typically, so we do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So for whatever reason, you want to cease using Phoenix, for that first 30 days, you are not responsible for that monthly subscription fee. But there is an implementation fee, because on the back end, it does require the Phoenix technical team to, get access to the store, to build, and it's a one-time effort to go live. And we typically, depending on the scale of work, charge between $1,200 and $1,500 for that. And with this webinar and this sort of partnership that we have with the Snow Agency, we are going to waive that fee for any retailers who've tuned in today, who decide to go live or move forward within 1 week of today's webinar. So by waiving the implementation fee and still offering that 30-day money-back guarantee, this presents a very unique opportunity to try Phoenix literally for no money. So that we're excited to do that, because we really value our partnership with the Snow Agency, and know that this could be a really exciting opportunity for those folks who've tuned in. So please keep that in mind, and if you are interested in diving deeper with me, and having that conversation, please let Jordan know, and he can intro us and get us started on that follow-up call.
Absolutely. All right, anybody else? Last opportunity for questions. Just a thank you from Lewis. Thank you so much, Lewis. Appreciate you saying so. I'm sure Olivia appreciates it.
Yeah, I appreciate folks, carving out your time. I know we are in busy times, and to take 45 minutes of your day to learn a little bit more, we appreciate that, and me especially. So thanks for dialing in, and Jordan for getting us organized and setting this up. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Olivia. Thanks for walking us through it. I'm sure everybody got a lot of value out of this. One more reminder to everybody, please fill out your information on that form. All merchants will be getting the free gift, and then of course the opportunity for that free sign up and implementation, like Olivia was just saying. So I'd strongly advise you to take advantage of it. An 11% increase in conversion can definitely change your day. So I would say go for it. Thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of your day. And Olivia, thanks again. You were on mute there, but have a good day.
Thanks. Take care, everyone. Bye.
There we go. Have a good one.
Thank you.